Hello, my dears. Now I'm going to read the Act 5 of Hamlet. So, reading the stories and fairy tales, it's very useful in order to enhance your listening and speaking skill. Also, it can help you to understand how the words are pronouncing. So, keep in touch and let's go. Meanwhile, it hadn't taken Hamlet long to discover his uncle's evil plan. He found the letters that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern were carrying to the English king. Hamlet was devastated that his best friends had helped his uncle betray him. He waited until his ship was attacked by pirates, and in the confusion, he managed to escape to another ship. Hamlet managed to find his way back to Denmark. When he landed, he began to write some letters of his own. The first was to Horatio. Hamlet told his old friend of his adventures and said he needed to see Horatio in person to tell him more. He asked Horatio to meet at a secret spot. The second letter was to Claudius. Hamlet wrote that he had decided to return home early, and he wanted to meet his uncle alone. He wouldn't have been expecting that. Hamlet said to himself with satisfaction. As he sealed the letter, Claudius was alerted when he read Hamlet's letter. That argued, I promise, Laertes, I will kill Hamlet and it will look like an accident. Not even the queen will blame either of us for his death. But how Laertes wondered. Claudius clapped his hands. I have got it. You are a famous swordsman. Lure Hamlet into a duel with you. Say it's just a contest for fun. Will that work? Asked Laertes doubtfully. French swords are not very sharp. But you can pretend to pick up the wrong sword, said Claudius. You can stab him with the real blade, and it will just look like an accident. I'll do it, Laertes declared, and what's more, I'll dip my blade in a strong poison. Perfect, Claudius clapped his hand. And actually now that you speak of poison, just in case you don't manage to kill him in the duel, let's have a poisoned cup of wine waiting for him afterward when he is thirsty from fighting. At the moment Queen Gertrude came running in distress. Oh, Laertes, I have such sad news. Ophelia has fallen. She was waiting in the river, but she got caught in some weeds and she was pulled under. A few days later, Hamlet met with Horatio by coincidence as they were meeting in the castle. Graveyard where the grave diggers were hard at work. Hamlet Horatio greeted him. What did you want to tell me? Hamlet eyed the grave diggers. I will wait until this men have finished their work. Aren't graveyard strange places? Everyone resting here was once just as alive as you and He was slightly nervous to deal with Curtis since Curtis was the best sportsman around. But I can't stand by and let him call me murderer, he decided. Meanwhile, Curtis was sharpening his best blade and dipping the end in poison. Claudius ordered food and drinks to be brought out. When nobody was looking, he took out a small bottle of poison and added it to a goblet of wine. When everyone had gathered, Hamlet and Laertes strode out to the middle of the room, with their swords drawn and facing each other. Begin, Claudius commanded. Laertes lunged at Hamlet and the fight began. It was a vicious fight, but the two men were better matched than Hamlet had feared. Every time Laertes lunged, he was able to block the blow, and he was even able to land the coup of his own. Claudius' eyes flickered between Hamlet and Laertes. He was no intent on the duel that he didn't notice Gertrude picking up the poisoned wine goblet. She had just swallowed the whole thing when Claudius suddenly realized what had happened. No, he cried. His shout startled Laertes. Hamlet was able to wound him even with his dull blade. As Laertes fell, he slashed at Hamlet, opening a cut. The queen collapsed dead. What has happened to my mother? Hamlet shouted. She has been poisoned, Laertes panted. And so have you, he confused the whole plan to Hamlet, so you see, you are going to die. Hamlet turned on his uncle. The poison was burning through his body, but he was determined not to give up. How could you? Hamlet cried. You have killed both my parents. Hamlet staggered over to Claudius and picked up his poisoned blade. No, stand back, guards, Claudius yelled. But nobody came to help him. Hamlet stood over him. There is no point in praying now. There won't be any forgiveness for what you have done. He struck quickly with the poisoned blade. Claudius yelped and fell to the floor. Treason! This is treason! You committed treason, Hamlet snarled. I am bringing justice. Claudius took one last shuddering breath, then he died. Laertes stretched on the floor. I'm sorry, Hamlet. Please forgive me. It is my fault that your mother is dead. It is my fault that your father is dead. Hamlet replied, Please forgive me. We have both done things that are wrong, but we have both tried to do what is right, unlike my wretched uncle. He and Laertes embraced, both wincing from the pain of their wounds. We shall meet again very soon, I fear, said Hamlet. Yes, Laertes agreed, but we shall be in the good company of your father, my father, and our dear Ophelia. With that, he closed his eyes and died. Horatio came dashing over to his old friend. Hamlet, let me help you. What can I do? It is too late for my life, Hamlet calmly told him, but not for my legacy. Please, whatever you do, make sure that everyone knows the truth about what happened here. that my father's death was not an accident, that I am not mad all of it. I promise, said Horatio. I won't rest until the whole kingdom knows it. So Prince Hamlet died knowing that his final mission was complete. That was the last action of Hamlet, and it was pleasure for me to read this play, and it was very interesting for me too. So thank you for your attention and keep in touch. Wait for the last story.